What is going on, everybody? Alright, so for today's video blog, we're going to be talking about the residential rental market. Now, before I get started, you have to understand a couple things. Number one, there are not a lot of numbers available. Usually CMHC is a good source, but they're about a year behind. There's a variety of rentals available, so you can't lump them all together. You've got 1, 2, 3 bachelor apartments, you've got condos, you've got houses, and a bunch of different types of houses in that pool. However, we're going to give you a broad overview, and hopefully it'll give you a good idea as to what's going on out there. So, supply and demand is the biggest issue when it comes to rentals by far. Just to give you an example, in Toronto, the amount of new residential rentals that came to market or that are being built is 2,000 units, and the demand for it probably exceeds about 80,000 units. So there's a huge disparity between what's being built and what people need. There's a variety of reasons for this. Oshawa's vacancy rating was 1.7% in October 2016, and I'm telling you right now it's probably much lower than that as well. I'm saying it's probably under 1% at the moment. We don't have a lot of rental units coming to market that are being built. In Oshawa, I've got a few properties that are being, not me personally, in Oshawa we have a few properties being built right now, but they're geared and aimed towards the older crowd, someone who's got a little bit more disposable income. The rental rates are at least $2,000 a month for these things, so it's not going for the general public. Why is this happening? Number one, it costs almost the exact same amount of money to put together a deal and to build something that's a condo building as it would for a rental apartment building. In addition to that, the government is involved with telling the developers how much money they can actually make with rent controls and things like that. So the developers are kind of saying, well, why would we bother with this? Why don't we just go for the condo market? And they're allowing smaller investors, such as somebody who's buying 1 or 2 condos and renting them out to the public, to deal with the rental on his own. So you're getting a 400 unit building, but you're only getting a few of those to become rentals. In addition to that, we had the Fair Housing Act come out a few months ago. We've seen prices kind of flatten out a little bit, which is good for renters. However, long term, I don't think that's going to solve anything because the supply and demand issue is not being met. However, there are some government grants and programs that are being implemented right now to help developers, kind of incentivize developers to build out there. However, how it's going to play out, who knows? As it stands right now, it is very difficult to find a rental. There are some out there, especially houses, but that was because a lot of people bought homes 4 or 5 months ago before the market turned, and now they're putting it back on the market to try and rent it out because they can't afford to sell it at that price. However, they're jacking up the prices and it's just kind of stagnating on the market. So I'm noticing a lot of 3 or 4 bedroom homes that are not priced properly in Durham region kind of sitting on the market. However, things that are more in line with what the rest of the competition is doing are getting snapped up right away. It's really tough to be a renter. Even rentals, you're going into multiple offers right now. You've got to have your credit check, your employment check, criminal check, everything ready. Landlords are having the pick of the litter with who they want to rent their units. Even in Toronto, you've got people who are putting ads of themselves on Kijiji, you know, their jobs, education levels, income, credit, all this stuff saying, pick me for your rental properties. So it's pretty tough out there. You're noticing prices flatten out right now, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term solution. So hopefully that gives you a good idea. If you have any questions, please don't ever hesitate to let me know. Jacob at SoldByJacob.com, Instagram, Facebook, SoldByJacob, and www.soldbyjacob.com. Thanks for watching, guys.